When winning is the only option, the sharpest bettors in the world call me. Not because of what I know, but who I know. And the results, well, they speak for themselves. But talk is cheap, so let me show you. The Syndicate Insider Show starts now.
To you from Las Vegas, it's Sports Insiders Radio. Brian Blessing, glad to be with you. Start a brand new show, and we are going to have some good fun with our friends John and Mike from johnsyndicate.com. Get you information on where the numbers are moving, NFL football, NCAA football, baseball continues, soccer, whatever the sport may be. John always talks about treating your sports betting as a business. We are going to have some fun with this for the next hour, and we're fired up for what's going to be a very busy weekend in the world of sports from a wagering perspective. Without further ado, you can go to johnsyndicate.com. And our good friend, he's riding the bike with a live view stream. It's good to talk to our friends, John and Mike from johnsyndicate.com. Hello, John. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I just got off the bike. I didn't want to breathe heavy while I'm
So, guys, if you missed the show yesterday, 1 hour on 1400 AM, the phones are already ringing. People are calling for information. What time is it, Siri?
It's 8:49 a.m.
8:49 a.m., which is 5:50 in Las Vegas in the morning. It is the first day of the NFL season. Yesterday I had the first launch of my radio show. You can go to the syndicateinsider.com. You can go to johnsyndicate.com. You can go to sportsinsidersradio.com. It is going to be a huge season. Now, yesterday on this radio show that is archived online, you could listen to me telling everybody how could they make Arizona an underdog in baseball when they were on a 14-game winning streak. And sure enough, they beat the Dodgers in easy fashion, plus the 180, as I said on the radio, 3 to run. The trend is your friend, regardless of what sport it is. Now, today is what they call the madness. It is the first day of regular season NFL. Can you feel it? Can you feel it? Da-da-da-da. It's the real NFL season. I have an acronym for the NFL. Not for losers. Are you a loser? Are you a guy that's going to lay the bad number? Do you understand that it is September 8th? Do you understand that these lines on the NFL have been moving since mid-July? Do you understand that people that are going to play these NFL games late are usually going to be chasing a bad number on the chalk side? Do you understand that if it was that easy, the largest bets in the world that are taken at the casinos wouldn't be on the NFL? Obsessed with NFL, which is really 1 day a week. We can't count the Thursday game and the Monday night game. The bailout game is really not even worth considering. This week is special. You get the Thursday night game, you get the full card on Sunday, and then you get the doubleheader. The doubleheader that we talked about here on the radio on Monday. The only time of the year where they want you on the East Coast to stay up till 2 in the morning watching football, trying to hit that 14 parlay, both sides, both totals, or like me in Vegas Strip. I'll be doing both radio shows Tuesdays and Wednesdays live in studio with Brian Blessing and have notable guests. The sources that you hear me talk about, the David Millers of the world, the Dominic Larigios of the world, the Don Johnsons of the world. You know, I just thought of it. All their first names begin with D. Maybe they're sitting at the round table, the true Vegas round table. As I say on every video, the biggest bettors in the world break bread with me. The biggest bettors in the world drink with me. The biggest bettors in the world get mentored by me. I'm here to make you a businessman when it comes to betting. I'm not here to talk about games of the year or locks of the month. As you see, I have my Don Best screen here behind me. I'm not here for all that. I'm here to strictly show you that it's all about equal action down on the public, and a lot of times to trick the public. If it was that easy, I can assure you I would not be in business. So what you have to understand very simply is this. If you want to come in from the outside and you want to come into the inside and you want to take your wagering to a next level, just like you would in the financial markets. Pick up the phone and call Mike here. Like I said, it is going to be a huge football season, while we also don't forget about the MLB. We don't forget about the CFL. We don't forget about the WNBA. We don't forget about any sport where there is a market on that sport. Think about it. If your stockbroker called you and he had a hot stock tip in the NASDAQ, would you tell him you only trade the Dow? Don't lose focus. Cleveland won their 15th game in a row. Don't lose focus and forget about all the other sports because you're hyper-focused on the pigskin. Not only won't you win with that strategy, you can't win. Trust me, trust me. The bookmakers love week 1 of the NFL season. Usually what happens is a lot of times the chalk will come out and cover early and the bettors get cocky and then they give it all back. Remember, not many players play on their own and win on a consistent basis. And that's due to the lack of money management. Now you can sit here and you can watch podcasts on the internet in fancy studios and different advisors giving out their analysis and their information. I don't have a podcast. I have a radio show, a 1-hour radio show in Las Vegas on the air. That show is going to be syndicated across the whole entire country. I'm not interested in sitting here talking about specific games. We do it on the radio, and if you want to tune in and break it down, what I'm interested in is in dealing with clients that have a true value and understanding what it is and what the value of the NFL is. The value of the NFL isn't that it's easy to beat. The value of the NFL is that you can bet that opening number and trade that closing number, and you can middle 12% of those games, like I discussed in the last video, like I discussed on Tuesday on the radio, like I discussed on my radio show yesterday. If you want to take a long-term marathon approach, understand you have to have your eye on the prize. It's 16 weeks. All the way to February 2018 to the Super Bowl. If you're just hyper-focused on getting off work today, running home, and watching this New England-Kansas City game, you're a loser. If you're going to ignore your kids when they come home from school because you want to sit there and watch the football game, you're a loser. If you're a businessman, you're trading numbers with an absence of information, and you're letting people trade the game within the game and show you how to make money breaking down the game at halftime.
At 6.5, I would have to take a little back when it hits 10.
And there's a specific reason, pal, and I would say this, because it's great.
Games open up at 6.5 and now they're 10, and you get the game early.
A window that's 3.5 points, but it revolves around a key number of 7. It becomes an even more massive opportunity.
Absolutely. And listen, let's not forget, I did a video yesterday on my website with Mike, you know, and I'm looking to maybe we'll have some guest appearances next week. And our good friend Kenny, he basically came up, you know, he told me statistically 12% of all the games land on the numbers. So we figured it out yesterday. If you do the math and you're wagering 11 dimes on each side of the game and 110 juice, and you're able to middle these games off the hard number of 3, you know what you make on every 100 games? On an average, 150 positions on games. They're just betting that opening number. They're betting the closing number. And then you also have the problem is you're always supposed to throw out what happened last week. And
they're betting the opening number and they're betting the closing number. They're not taking positions on games. Back to what's on the board if you can see it. Learn how to earn and treat your wagering as a business. Stop with all the hype. Stop with the lock of the year. Stop with the game of the month. 31 seasons. The only lock I have is the key that I stick in the door. Trade. How are you going to make money once you introduce a spread? The spread is not your friend. The spread is the equalizer to even everything out. Think about how hard it is for you guys to try to play baseball on your own, and you can't win that. You have no shot to win football. Now, it's not all doom and gloom. It's positive. There are a small percentage of people like ourselves that actually do this for a living and understand what it takes to actually win. Coming from the outside, coming to the inside, it is finally here. matter what sport it is. It's just another game, another market, another way to take money from the man. This is your Thursday report, coming from the outside, coming to the inside.